Hello, this is a continuation of the first chunk of sketches that I've been collecting since last April of 2018. They've been, I hesitate to use words like channeled or having visions or whatever, but that's generally what other people would say as well when they have this kind of stuff, you know, impressing itself on them to share or at least, get down on paper. Um, I guess I want to keep going and show some more. Maybe just do a few at a time, I suppose, because I talk a lot apparently. So, this one is another experience-based sketch. This was the result of actually drinking a glass of water. Honestly, the way it hit me was, it was like drinking, it was like how you would, in your wildest fantasies, how you would imagine drinking sacred water might feel like. I mean, I felt it go into my body, and it had an energy that I'd never felt from water before. And it was this, like, in the same way that I felt the entirety of the water when I stepped into the river from a previous sketch in the other video. I likewise, when I drank this water, I tasted and felt the entirety of it. But it was, whereas stepping into it in the river was much more physical, drinking it was much more energetic. It was more like I felt its energy than its entirety, like what happened to me in the river. And I'm trying to remember. Before I drank these last few sips of this glass of water, there was some sort of communication while I was holding the glass. That I don't know if it was blessed in some manner or something. I don't know if it was me or like a psychosomatic, experience, because, I'm rational enough not to leave the less magical possibilities on the table. No, I guess it was the best. It's actually happened to me again a few times since, but back then, it was best couple of sips of water I'd ever had in my life. And I'm trying to make this not about the experience that I had, which is kind of difficult because, I'm the one that went through it, and speak more of the drawing itself. But I am also, in this very moment, trying to open my heart and speak from there. Because I trust what comes from there, and I also hope that it leads to a lot less gibberish, if we're being frank. This is some Tauruses. I mean, obviously, let's backtrack. This is actually kind of like a family portrait, sort of. It's a picture of me and my two kids. We were playing outside once, this last summer. And for like for like a barest of moments, I saw us like this. And, it was such a weird feeling to just somehow see it without seeing it while we're all running around and being active, that, when I got back in, I had to draw it, even if it was just simple like this. So, that's what I look like, in case you're curious. I'm kidding. I'm just being facetious. Alright. This is my namesake. I had this truly, this is probably one of the first things that I admitted was a vision. I don't think you can have a Jacob's Ladder dream and then come out of it and be like, nah, I just imagined that. Because this happened to me in the shower. And, water in me is... yeah. Not only did I have a very visual experience that looked almost pretty much like this. I'm surprised that I drew it so close to what I saw. Although a lot higher. It was much farther up. This picture, even though I had this vision in the shower a few months ago, I also had this in a dream, a repeating dream, when I was little. And it wasn't a ladder, it was a staircase, but it's the same thing. I know it. I don't know, it's like my one, me personally, my one thing for this life, I guess, that I'm supposed to do. Just climb the ladder. Probably lots of people, though, too, huh? Ladders, staircases, mountains. This is another water-based vision, but I was doing the dishes. So yes, even when I'm doing chores. I needed 2 pages to try and get the largesse of this. It okay, it could be better, but I don't know why I'm trying to be judgy to myself right now. That's dumb. It was basically just, so I was standing in front of the sink, doing the dishes, and I knew I was already kind of in a trancey-like position. But, I was just doing my thing. I was just, seeing where it went. And I closed my eyes at one point, and I saw the vastness of this thing. And I think, actually, that this is Earth. I didn't know then, but I think this is Earth. Partially mostly actually from sketches that I drew recently that, I haven't gotten to yet. But nonetheless, the center of this huge dark space with all these lines running around, matrixy energy lines, that kind of thing. Or the Earth's energetic lines. It's probably a better description. Using words like the matrix in these time frames is It's a good way to freak people out because we're all trying to get out of the Matrix, aren't we? So anyway, this center was it was a, you know, a plasma-y type, these bubbles of, they undulated, they moved and bubbled and rippled, and it was, alive, like. And then here was me, just floating in space. It was even like, I knew the kitchen floor was below me. Part of me knew, but the other part of me, with my eyes closed, looked down and just saw my feet. That was it. Nothing else, just my feet. And it was like I could see on the other side of the planet, except I wasn't seeing anything. It just, who knows? All right, let's move on. Now, some of these pictures that I took, as much as I'm like nervous about sharing my writings for many reasons, I wrote fast, it's messy, there's misspelled words, it's completely unedited. A lot of the pages have super personal information. A lot of it is also like, you go back to something and you understand it differently once you've learned something new. I mean, that's been happening a lot lately, and that's the only reason, like that one picture that I had, with the February updates. It's because I was paging through them, trying to understand them, and also kind of mentally preparing myself to share this information. And there's some cases in which I felt compelled to share even the words around the pictures. And people, I guess, can take what they will of it. This is this is my best possible way of sketching what I think was my view of the Akashic records, or the human consciousness field. Or actually, it might not just be humans. It might just be all. It's possible that it's just Earth and all living things. But anyway, I already know that there's people out there that know a whole lot more about that than I do, and that some seem to be able to even access it at will. I just accidentally looked up and for a couple moments saw this giant spinning like a flip book, like a big, like those old rotary address books in offices. It was like that, but it was paging and flipping by and big circle, just like super fast, and I could see like pictures of snapshots of life, snapshots of experience, of knowledge and information, and what it is to exist, I guess. All right. Well, I'm trying to keep these things short, so I'm going to take another pause, and I guess there's going to be a part 3. Once again, thank you for watching. I hope it's vaguely entertaining. But, I mean, everybody, if you're going to be watching this, there's a reason for it. And that's another reason that I'm doing this, is because I guess I trust that I have this stuff for a reason. And if I'm going to share it, then anyone that watches it showed up to watch it for a reason. That's my faith, I suppose. Okay. Goodbye for now.